What is going on, fight fans? We need to talk about Devin the Dream Haney, because from what it looks like, he's not going to be in Esports Boxing Club. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. This is Edward, and you're watching Boxing Fanatico. Okay, so there is some bad news, guys. There's some bad news, and it's almost hard to believe because I've been persuaded so much or moved over to the position that ESBC, there's almost no one out of their reach, that I didn't even assume or make, the thought that someone like Devin Haney would not want to be on ESBC because they're grabbing Deontay Wilder, Canelo Alvarez, Lomachenko, Terrence Crawford, Caleb Plant. Like it's almost like they can get whoever they want. They got Sean Porter. They're even tapping into the PBC, things of that nature. So in my mind, I thought that, they could easily get Devin Haney. But when Devin Haney was asked by one of his fans or a fan of boxing, are you going to be in ESBC, the new boxing game? He tweeted back a very simple answer. No. Now, you can interpret this in certain ways. Some people could say, well, maybe he's saying no because he's trying to cover up the fact that he's in the game and he's probably going to try to, have a nice little reveal pop, and he doesn't want people to even speculate that he's going to be in the game. You could say that, and that is a possibility. You can never, toss that theory out. But why not just not respond? The fact that he went out of his way to respond makes me believe that he wasn't happy with whatever situation he had with being put into the game. I'm sure he was already communicated with. I mean, they're grabbing everybody, so I'm positive they communicated with him. But I'm sure that he just didn't like what the negotiations were or what the contract was. Whatever it is, that's probably why he didn't want to be in the game. I don't think it's the best idea, but I'm also not his manager or anything like that. They need to make that decision for themselves. But I do want to say that there is this misunderstanding of how video games work and what video games can do for you. A lot of these people and a lot of these managers and even fighters have never really navigated through the space of being put into a video game and seeing what the ramifications are and the positive elements of being in a video game. They haven't really been put through that kind of conveyor belt because we haven't had a boxing game in so long. So there's a lot of professional fighters that are professional now and are stars that weren't anywhere close to being professional at the time that the last boxing video game came out. So there are some people that give it a different type of look. They look at this game, and some people look at it as an opportunity to be put into a space that normally would not have reached that person specifically, like a child, someone who's 13 or someone who's 15, or even someone who is a casual fan of boxing who knows the top names like Manny Pacquiao and a Floyd Mayweather and even ironically Jake Paul, but don't really know so far past that. They might know an Anthony Joshua, they might know a Deontay Wilder, but they don't go too far away from that inner circle. Those people can get to know who you are, appreciate you depending on your stats or whatever it is, and see that you're a good player or somebody that they like to use, and that can create interest in you, the individual, which then can create more views for you. See, there are people that buy boxing video games that don't really like boxing, that play boxing video games a lot and end up liking boxing. That happens a lot. And if you're not one of the players that they can pick within the boxing video game, because that game was their introduction to the sport, it kind of makes them incorrectly, I would say that this is an incorrect assessment, but it does make them have a thought of you being not as important, because I know that Canelo's a big guy and he's in here. I know that, Lomachenko's a big guy and he's in here. So the only people that I think is important are these guys. Maybe. I don't really know much about boxing. I think these guys are important. I kind of want to start watching it now because I'm having so much fun and I want to get more into this and know more about this. So let me start watching whenever this guy fights, or, oh, cool, I know this guy in this game. I'm going to watch his fight. I saw something on Twitter about him fighting. If you're not in the game, I will always say this. Like I said, I don't know what, it's their prerogative as to why they do or do not want to be in a game. But it is still, in my humble opinion, and I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm not in that space. I'm not in that vertical. But it's still, to me, promoter malpractice. If you can't come to some sort of agreement to make sure that you're in the game. The money that would have came from the game didn't even exist anyways. That wasn't something that you were thinking of in terms of revenue. You weren't thinking about the game because the game wasn't a thing. But the game is a thing now, and it's an additional revenue stream that really, it's an additional thing. It's a passive income that, on top of it being passive income, creates a new circle of fans, a new group of people that can be introduced to you by an intelligent and strategic medium, the medium of video games, that can help grab a younger generation. Something that boxing as a whole has had a lot of trouble trying to pull off, getting the younger audience to try to future-proof boxing as a whole. So Devin Haney may not be in the game. And hopefully there's renegotiations and they'll talk to him and they'll figure something out and they'll be able to get him to kind of meet in the middle to whatever he wants and to whatever, Steel City is offering and re-offering Devin Haney. It's not my place to tell Devin Haney to do something or not do something. Will I be upset that he's not in the game? Absolutely, because I want Devin Haney in the game. But I respect whatever fighter's position for whatever reason they think that they should or should not be on a project or put their name on a project. All I'm saying is that if you're going in there with tunnel vision, just open your mind a little bit more. And hopefully any other fighters that go through this contractual negotiation with Steel City Interactive, they open their minds a little bit more and look at the broader value that comes with being in a boxing video game, especially a licensed boxing video game, one that hasn't been made in over 10 years, which means that the desire for the game is like at a fever pitch. Because once that game comes out, it's going to explode in terms of interest because we just haven't had a boxing game in such a long time. One good news though, if you watch Study's new video where he talked about Gervonta Tank David deleted tweet after Deontay Wilder posted on his Instagram that it was difficult to keep this a secret. He's so excited to be in the game and everything like that. Gervonta Tank Davis tweeted or responded, "I'm with you, bro." He responded, "I'm with you, bro." And then that tweet or that response was deleted. So it is possible that although we're not getting Devin Haney, it could look like there's a Gervonta Tank Davis reveal coming soon. So that's my opinion on the matter. Of course, this is Edward from Boxing Fanatico, and I'll see you in the next one.